Hi, this is Jeff White with Life and Living Now and VersatileFightingArts, and welcome to another Qigong session. Excuse the noise a little bit. Windy day here in Albuquerque. I have some of the doors open to account for some of the noise to release any noise, but we still have a couple of good garage doors. But hopefully you can hear all this. If you've been following me, then you know Qigong, ancient Chinese practice. It's about mindfulness, breath, and body. And you want to put your mind into your heart so that you're feeling. You're not trying to process. You have to process a little bit as you learn this, but you really want to get into feeling and to listen to your body, to listen to your mind, to really feel your way through it. And initially, we talk about bringing energy, and yes, there initially is wisdom on things at first. But then something really cool happens. The more that you visualize it, it doesn't take very long, you start to feel the sensations. Sometimes I've had, I felt them in my palms first. I've had things that up in your fingers or in the forearms. And it comes from a couple of different ways. One, as you are releasing tension from the body, and you're doing some of your holding breath, and then you're letting your breath out. It works with nitric oxide in the body, with carbon dioxide, and blood vessels get a little bit smoother, muscles get more relaxed. And so you have greater blood flow coming to your arms, to your legs, throughout your body. But you also do have that energetic work that I look at within the energy body itself, different than the physical body. And you can feel this. And it's like when we talk about being in the lower dantian, which is your gut, your lower abdomen. And the more that you feel for this energy ball that's glowing inside, you begin to feel it. And with the martial arts, we also tend to use this as a center of gravity as we move. And the more that you put your mind into this lower dantian, your strength will increase, your sense of harmony will increase. There's a lot of good benefits. And I encourage you to do some reading with the vagus nerve that runs down the spine into the gut, that the deep diaphragmatic breathing will also enhance and engage. It engages in the parasympathetic nervous system, so that then you're calming your body. And whereas the sympathetic nervous system is the fight and flight, then parasympathetic is, now it's called rest and digest. It's a cute way of remembering. But let's get started. So first, just bring your feet together, just natural. Sink into your heels. Get accustomed to sinking your weight into the earth. Imagine I'm sinking in about 4 feet into the earth, and I'm just one with this energy. But I want you to just one hand over the other, and now just breathe. This is the time to focus, to call your attention to the mind and body. Breathe in, deep diaphragmatic breath. Be here now. Be present moment. Let go of all the worry of the day, of what you should be doing, want to be doing. Let go of anything on your to-do list. Just be here. Good. Now drop the hands and just step out. I did a writing, so I'm getting ready to do a video on the governing channel and the section channel. The governing channel runs from perineum, kind of comes up and runs up, comes just to the lower level. And when you start to activate, number one, when we're doing Qigong, we have an activation phase, flow phase, and oftentimes stretching. But what we're doing is we're knocking up and down that perception channel right here. Now they're always moving, you're always awake, but your awareness of them is not. And so now we're kind of just waking up our awareness, waking up the body with becoming aware. I like coming down across the abdomen. We can go in one direction, we can go in the other direction. It does not matter which one you go in. I'm going to pat down the shoulder, pat yourself on the back. Come down the inside of the arm, come up the outside of the arm. Down the inside. Switch to the other side. So all this, when you're doing this activation, is you're waking the body up, and you're waking your awareness, as I said, the body up. And for me, that's a very distinct difference. Because you kind of get the impression from reading some of the literature or some of the teachers that the chi is like, this guy could be dead until you decide to wake it up. And that's just not true. It's always the flow. We can enhance its flow. But at first we have to become aware of it. Come back and knock on the kidney. Come down to the glutes, hamstrings, come up the inside, knock on hip flexors, come around to the hips, glutes, back down, hamstrings, and coming up. And then just wipe everything away. You know, if you ever had a stress and had a partner or spouse or somebody come over and just kind of brush your shoulders and your back and it feels like all this stuff goes away, then that's part of what you're doing, getting rid of some of that negative energy. So, and now it does not matter. I have not found a difference in if I go down the arms before I go to the legs, or extra time the legs, completely up to you. I do because the yin meridians start in the body and run down. Then I tend to go with the flow. Same as with the yin from the feet, goes from the toes, then comes up. Yang's meridians start at the fingers, run up, so pop up on that side and we pat down on the yang side. Yin would be the front, yang would be the back. Now, we kind of do the windmills and turns. A couple of variations on these. We got to loosen the back. These are never locked. No joint is ever. Even though it may appear to be straight, we call it straight, not straight. But right now, my waist and my shoulders are almost turning my arms. Remember deep breathing. Stay connected in your heart. And now, start taking one hand and hit the lumbar section of the back. In this case, I'm going to have the other forearm hit just at the lower dantian, okay? Right just below the navel. And that is hitting the lumbar, which is yin yen, also referred to as life gate. Now, I like keeping the feet straight because some of this is loosening up the lower spine. However, you can also twist into what we also call it the cat stance. So I'm just raising my feet and turning. And I can do it this way. I don't get as much into the back as if I went raising the heel like that. But it gives you an option. Slow it down. Good. Now, mixing fire and water. Inhale, float the hands up, right to heart level. Exhale, float the hands up. You'll see me do a lot of this in between exercises and floats. Part of what we're doing is we're mixing. Kidneys are water, heart is fire. And so I'm mixing from lower dantian, from the channels, meridians coming up. We have root, sacral chakras. We have solar plex, we have heart. And so we're mixing that energy. And now touch heaven and earth. One hand spirals up towards the ceiling. The elbow is rotated to the ear. And the other hand comes down. Notice that it is turned at an angle and presses to the floor. My exhale, I collapse, and I turn to my little fingers, both are face towards me, and then I'm pushing up. Down, inhale and stretch. If you can kick this hip out a little bit, you'll feel a stretch, and that's the fascia. You begin to stretch and the muscles, ligaments, and tendons. Down, press. You can kick that hip out a little bit for more stretch. Good. You really feel the lungs up, the diaphragm up, and collapse. And come down. Now, inhale, connect with all your energy centers coming up. Come up over the head, press. Exhale through the mouth as if you're drawing your fingers down the inside of the ball. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the fingers down so your fingers are pulled out. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now bring your feet right under your hips. Bring the hands up. Now as you stretch out, you can sink. There's my inhale, exhale, pull it towards me. I can also go up on my toes. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So if you have balance issues, go the other way, sink. And then I'm sinking. When I'm sinking, I'm dropping my spine straight down. I'm not bending over. And, as we did at the very beginning, I can also just stand. And you can flow with the one that feels most connected to you. I think it's a good idea to do them all over time and experiment enough with them that you can do it subconsciously, where it's just second nature. Now, drop the elbows, move the hands to the side, same thing. My inhale, I'm pushing out. Exhale, I'm contracting. Inhale, pushing out, pulling back on the index and middle fingers. Keeping the shoulders dropped. Work my toes. And I can sink. Good. Bring that down. Now, fold your hands into beats. Bring them out the side. I like twisting over. So my inhale, I'm twisting, trying to get my little finger positioned as much towards the ceiling as possible. You'll notice that if you do it, you won't get your fingers much more past, like say this. But I'm keeping the shoulders locked. So I'm not allowing my shoulders to raise. Keeping them dropped. And with this deep formation, really twisting. Inhale, exhale, let it relax. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I can also go this way. Inhale, I'm just bending them down. Inhale, relax, exhale. Inhale. When I'm doing this way, you can feel I'm really stretching the young meridians on the outside. I'm also activating the meridians on the inside. Good. Now, step out a little bit, extend one hand. The arm and the foot travel together. I like coming here and shearing. The knees are bent. I step out, move from my center as if I'm gathering energy in. I can step out a little bit more, drop the shoulders, go into the diamond movement, and push. Extend, arm and foot work together. Pressing, just make sure that your knee does not go over your toes. Which if you have to step out a little bit more, you do that. Extend, come back. Now we go into 4 corners. The 4 corners, you just come around. This toes out completely, and I move my weight so that my knee is towards the back of my knee. If I were to do this here, and I was twisting into 4 corners, that's what it would look like on the back side. Now, when I'm pressing, let me cover a couple of points. My shoulders are down, arms are not locked. Pressing, move my wrist and palms to the floor. My hands are in the formation I always encourage you to do throughout this process, which is thumb and little finger are both kind of extended opposite each other. So it creates this concave feeling in your palm. So I'm pressing down. As we relax, I come back up, heel, around. You can feel, now I'm not way out here, I'm more compressed, which means I can also begin to see. And that's the 4 corners. Now, also stand. Deep breath. Inhale, kick the hips back, float the hands up. Exhale, bring the hips forward. Bring the hands down and back. Inhale. Exhale. Now, similar to this is Tiger. So with Tiger, there's a number of ways we can start out. So let's just go from here. So I'm just going to bring the hands up, bring them back, bring them forwards. So I'm going to, actually we'll start out here. Roll up, forward, draw down, way back, turn the hands over, Clawing up, come back by the ears, press, and down. Now, when you first start this, you can be in this high horse stance where I am now. As you get more comfortable with this, you drop your stance. My breathing is inhale, no, I'm sorry, exhale, inhale, exhale, in this case inhale, now there are several variations of this timer, so if you're watching this video and you have another variation, just know that one's valid as well. There are several that I have been taught and that I've learned, so I'll bring that to your attention. Alright, we'll come back to both hands up, both hands down. Let's go into little men's in. So the hand comes out by central line, keeping the orientation of the palm towards the sky. Also called teacup exercise. I always just presume because you were taught as if you had a teacup in your hand. But also, this begins to look a little bit like the childhood out of a teacup. You want to be very loose and flowing with this. And we're doing one at a time. We can do two at a time. I tend to drop more into a deeper horse. And when you do that, just make sure both come right out center line. Come on. Now, I can also go to the inside. And I can do both. Be kind to yourself with this. Come up. I have used this to heal my shoulders, and there's times with the things that we do, they'll start talking to me again, and I'll go back in and do my things. Don't press hard if you feel pain. It feels locked up. Breathe through it. Find the path to still move through it. So you alter. So like I say, this shoulder was really jacked. This, I could not do it. So instead, I learned, don't make it quite so deep. Just allow me to get through it. And then, the more that I did that, take that motion, keep it healthy. And now I could still do more. It still is a little bit tight, but I couldn't do that 6 months ago. So this is a practice I've been using for 20 years. As we move into the flows, so with the flows, just to remind, we work, this is the 5 element flow, or 5 internal organs. So we start with the lungs, which in Qigong is related to the element of fire. Then we flow to the kidneys with the element of water. Then we flow to the liver, which is the element of wood. We go to the heart, which is fire. And then we go to stomach and spleen, which is earth. So we go from metal, Metal produces water, condensation. Water helps things grow. We have wood, wood grows, becomes fire, and when fire burns, it returns back to ashes and dust, back into the earth again, and then the earth makes metal and start over. So that's the generative cycle of all this. But for the most part, within these studies, we look mainly at just those internal organs. And in Qigong theory, the organs are not just separate organs, they're part of a process. So it's a little bit different than looking at Western medicine. So we're engaged with entire processing is involved with maybe what the liver will do, what the kidneys will do. But there's a couple of key points with all of it. With each one, we have an attitude of gratitude, appreciation for just life, being alive. Just have an attitude of gratitude. Be thankful. It's powerful. And I know the phrase is a little bit cheesy, but it's so powerful. Do that. Now, with some, you can envision colors. And everybody learns a little bit differently with those. I like the colors. We also have sounds. We'll get into the sounds. I've gotten the sounds on the video, and we'll do the sounds again. But not so much this time. But now I just want you to think, breathing into your arms, brilliant white as I fill them up. Gather energy. And as you do, connect with those, your energy vortexes, the energy centers, root chakra, pretty much. And if the detail of the 7 chakras is not aligned with your understanding or is something you're comfortable with, just think I have one huge energy center in what we call lower Kuntao. I have another huge energy center in the heart that comes from heart and solar plexus. And then of course the head, the brain, spirituality is another energy center. So I can focus on just those energy centers as well. So it's a very practical practice. Your understanding with this enhances, but is not necessary for the benefit. But the more that you understand and work with it, the greater the benefit. But gather. This is all one inhale. Come over the head to the shoulders and press up. I hold for a count of 2, and then as I let go and I exhale, I connect those energy centers again. Crown chakra, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root. Or if you prefer, lower dantian, upper dantian. Connecting with the head, with the heart, lower dantian. Inhale. Exhale. Time your inhale. Now, when you first start, you may not have the depth of breath to get all the way through. In 1, good try. Hold, and then exhale slowly. And the idea is you finish your exhale as you finish the movement. Now, here, when you're starting with this and your lung capacity is not that great, make the first part of your inhale. You're going to exhale up. Turn over and inhale. Get to that here and there. I can do that too. Remember, the knees are not bent, even though they were not straight, even though they look like they might be. Good. Now, lung meridian starts internal, but the external, we find it more right about here, and it comes down to the thumb, large intestine, for which it is paired with, starts in the finger, rolls back up, and it kind of comes up. So you want to connect your thumb and your index finger. So bring them out to the sides. Inhale, bring your forearms together. Exhale, split everything apart. Inhale, shake and bring your forearms together. Exhale, let it go. Good. Now, I like doing this, at least one standing meditation after every flow. And now we're going to stand what's called bear pose while in front, but you can keep, you can either do a little box connection, your thumb and your index finger. You'll notice my knees are slightly down, my tailbone is stretched up, it's not sticking out, I'm not being military, I'm just relaxed. I do like still connecting thumb and index finger. And for right now, just scan your body, bring attention, feel for any resistance in your mind, just let it all go. One more good deep breath. Let everything go. Now, one hand goes on lumbar. We're going to go into the water element, which is kidneys. Kidneys, imagine your kidneys as brilliant deep blue. And when we come up, we're going to bend at the waist, straight at the waist this time. And in part what this does is it helps wring out the kidneys. I'm going to move as if I'm picking up something from the floor, stretching my hand out. As I turn it over, I imagine that energy is coming down my palm into my center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now you can cut it short, right to the waist. The waist I treat a little bit differently because I feel this differently. I extend my arm out. As I turn it over, the same thing we're doing on the deep end, but I feel it more on this one. I'm pulling from my shoulder. And kinetic change, shoulder, elbow, wrist, finger. Now, 2 fingers, secret sword, put it right to just below your navel. You still have the other hand at your knee min. These are connected. You put your mind and your lower guns in and feel the connection between the sword fingers and your knee min, your lumbar. So deep diaphragmatic breath. You should feel your belly moving. I know the wind's a bit high today, so it might be a little hard to hear in some of these. So some of these flows I'm not going quite as long, but it does bring us, let's switch hands. How many reps should you do? As many as you wish. At least 3 to 5, generally at least 5. The 10 is better. In other words, the more you do, the more benefit to you. Bend at the waist, inhale. Mind in the palm of your hand. Visualizing that energy sliding down into your lower dantian. Cut it to the waist. Two-finger swords, standing sword. Step out just a little bit. The other water flow that I use with this is one that I really enjoy. Both hands come down towards the back of the palm. Drop straight down. Don't bend over. Drop down. As if I'm picking up, say, kettlebells. Pick them up and connect with your body on the way up. Get right up here to chest, kidney 27, and go. Drop. Imagine I can feel as I'm connecting with my legs, the energy in my legs. This is all my inhale. Roll the back up. Exhale, let everything go. Next standing meditation, bear holds ball in the back. Same as we did in the front, except we're moving to the back. But here's a couple of notes. Make sure the shoulders don't rise up, because they will. Press them down. Make sure you're breathing not from your chest, but from your belly. Good. So let's drop that. Now we're going to move into the liver. Liver's over here on the right side. It's actually covered by the ribs, and a little bit comes down in here. So with this, I walk my legs out just a little bit for stability. I gap, I connect, I resonate with the energy, and then as if I'm pouring energy over my head, and then I come down the sides. Now, liver kind of runs up, comes across, comes up the side. But it pairs with gallbladder. And gallbladder runs back and forth across the shoulders and top of the head. So as I'm drawing energy up, connecting, resonating, here I'm resonating also with the energy centers and the meridians that are running back and forth from the gallbladder meridian in my head. One more time. Now another flow for this is I go out to the side. So one hand extends to the front, one hand extends to the back. I bring the back hand forward, concentrating, focusing on the palm of that hand, and then feeling as it resonates with the meridians coming through on forearm, the other forearm, as if I'm slapping down, picking up an energy ball. Remember, if you're coming in from, say, a Tai Chi, we have this. I extend my palms. Now, in this case, my left palm is going to extend because my right is starting with it. The right now extends to the back, and it comes up. My breathing is, this is inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Open. Inhale. Exhale. Now, bring everything in. Imagine I've got this ball of energy right here in the lower down chin. I'm going to visually imagine moving it out, and I'm going to just play with it. So I feel this connection where I have this energy, and I feel it as a presence, as a feeling. So when my hands come together, I want to go bring them together till I feel a connection between the two. When I exhale, I extend until I no longer feel that connection. And bring me forward. And imagine I see this ball of energy. It could be fire, it could be electric. Whatever works for you. I can change the orientation of my hands. But I'm looking for that feeling of where it begins, a tingling, a sensation, something lets me know they're connected. Now, if you're starting, your chi ball is right here. Be happy it's there. Sometimes when you first get started, if you're just starting, you just have to visualize. But you'll be surprised in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you begin to feel. I had one gentleman who it took him 10 months, but when it came in, it dropped in hard. You could feel it all the time. All right. Let that go down. Now, the standing meditation for wood energy, for me, is sitting in Zanchuan. One of the best standing meditations you can do. If you only have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in a day, there's two that I recommend. One is the floating that we did with Long, and the other one is the standing meditation. When I stand, my feet directly underneath me, pull my toes up a little bit, bend the knees slightly, just so they're straight and not straight. I don't need to be in horse, I just want them so they're bent. My tailbone is tucked, it's not pushed forward, it's not sticking out the back. Shoulders are down, hands, elbows are dropped. They're not pressed in here, they're not played out, it's a natural drop. The hands are slightly cocked back towards me. My head, imagine there's a piece of twine tied from the sky on the top of my skull, pulling my skull up. So now I've got dropping gravity in the back, pulling up the front, trying to elongate that spine, and it enables me to breathe. Take your tongue, put it on the roof of your mouth. It's the last one I start. Now when you're here, except for what you do while you're here, breathe in, and when you first start, just relax. Just scan your body for any tension. And then just sit and just relax. Often, once you put your awareness on it, it will relax on its own. Continue this for 2 or 3 minutes. What also what you do, your hands are out here, drop them down, point the fingers towards you, pull up on your perineum, and imagine I'm leading energy up my spine, across my head, right to my mouth, and then I'm going to, my exhale, I drop it down the front, my fingers open, so I'm going, it's like a piston or a train, so I'm like this. Inhale, pull up my perineum. Lead energy up over my head, crown, past third eye, over the nose. Exhale, drop everything, relax the perineum. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, drop. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, drop. Now, once you've got the anchor of the feelings, you don't have to use the fingers. You can use your hands. You can also just stand here and do the same thing. I first learned this microcosmic orbit in my meditation meeting. So you'll be sitting, you notice we're sitting in a sitting position, and then imagining that going around. And it becomes very powerful because you begin to feel it. You begin to feel that energy coming up your spine. The pulling up on the perineum, according to Hindu philosophy, works as a pump for Kundalini, for the energy that you're looking to raise up. So that takes us from 2 flows in the wood and same meditation. Then we go into heart. Now heart, the 2 flows that I use with this, cloudy hands, 1 inhale on 1 pass, 1 exhale on the next. 1 hand is at heart level, and I'm connecting heart energy and palm energy. And I can drop down to lower giant's hand. And when I will go back up and work into the forehead, I'm working with 3 treasures. Essence, energy, and spirit. Jin, Qi, and Shen. And back up to heart. Spirit, soul, and body. So harmonizing my whole being. And they're simple exercises, but if you are not mindful and focused, they're just simple movements. Combining your mindfulness, your intent, and your breath is what creates the power. Bring the hands down. The next one, lady works with shuttle. So kind of think this is an old school metaphor. Not as old as one might think, because it has to do, as I understand, with the looms that textile looms. This lady works with shuttle. One hand comes up like a high block in martial arts. The other hand pushes. My inhale, both hands go towards the sky. This is very slow. As I'm inhaling, this hand just comes down to center line. This one rolls up. And then this is my exhale as I push. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Another throw here is I light the fire. Pull energy up, get right to heart, press that with diamond mudra. Float the elbows up, swim back. Swim around, come down by the hip flexors. Kick the hips back and down. Pull up energy, give yourself a nice bathe bath. Bathe yourself, as I was going to say. Gather, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe and enjoy. Again. Up. Inhale to heart. Exhale. Press out. Inhale. Float the arms up. Back. Exhale. Drop down the front. Right to heart, drop the shoulders, press out. I connect heart energy with the diamond, and I can either send energy out into the world, or I can take energy in. Drop that. Awesome. Now we're going to go into stomach and spleen. The color for stomach and spleen is yellow. I think I may have mentioned part of this already, but it's yellow. With this, the two flows I have for this are very similar. You kick the hips back a little bit. I come from center line. My inhale is as if I'm grabbing energy. And then my exhale is I'm compressing, condensing into lower dantian, connecting here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now use both hands. Take a pause. Breathe. There's very little pause. I'm just taking time as I exhale. So imagine compressing, condensing. And as soon as I start my inhale, now, standing meditation for Earth is another thing. Sorry about all the planning. But I look at, there's 4 gates breathing and 5 gates breathing. For in Earth meditation, your feet are directly under your hips, under your shoulders, wherever's comfortable. Your elbows are at your side. They're parallel to the floor. The fingers are somewhat splayed. Now, with my first inhale, I'm imagining visualizing drawing energy up in my palms. And exhale, condensing the lower dantian. The next inhale, I'm drawing them up from my feet, here. Exhale, compressing the lower dantian. Now, once you've gotten comfortable with this, and don't rush it, right? It's no ego here. It's not a competition. But once you get comfortable with this, then do both at the same time. So now I'm inhaling both through my palms and my feet at the same time. If you want to make it 5 gates breathing, as you're pulling up from the floor, you're also bringing in from the crown chakra. And everything comes forward to dantian, and my exhale is compressed. This is another significant one in my case. Now, as we end, we do one for triple warmer, which triple warmer in traditional Chinese medicine, Qigong, is not really important. It's kind of a harmonizing of the whole mind body. So, visualize this brilliant, beautiful, violet light that you are just radiating, cascading down. I connect with all my energy centers. I gather. I connect. And I resonate. I gather. I connect and I resonate. Now, I do tend to, if not silently, vocally, I will have one last pass. I'll chant the Om. So it'll be place your hands over the dantian. Bring your heels together. Your feet are spread like a V. Bamboo sways in the wind, so if you find yourself swaying, perfectly fine. But don't manufacture it, don't add to it, don't take away from it. Just let it be. Drop your hands, step forward, bow. Thank you for joining. So this will be posted. If you're seeing it, you're probably looking at it either on YouTube or Substack or somewhere else. YouTube for Qigong and meditation is Life and Living Now. Martial arts is VersatileFightingArts. We'll probably post this in both places. But thank you for joining. For those who are joining and getting something out, and I hear for your success stories, and it's wonderful. So it warms my heart. It's always fantastic. But thank you much. Have a wonderful weekend.